I was wondering why I could hear halfway decent. That's never good to hear.
Hey, I can see us, so I wonder if everyone can hear us.
Is it pre-game time? Are we pre-gaming?
I believe we're pre-gaming. Can you guys hear us out there? Hopefully.
We are pre-gaming for the old throwback Friday Night Fish Talk Live edition.
Yeah. Let us know if you're out there, if you can hear us. I think you can see us, so.
I can see us, so somebody's got to.
So yeah, somebody's going to see us.
Anybody make it out there fishing this week since Tuesday from the last time we pre-gamed? Seems like we've been pre-gaming a couple times this week.
A couple days ago. I didn't make it that day. I was purchasing a travel trailer.
A house on wheels.
A house on wheels so I can live in it. It's amazing. Nobody will rent to you if you have animals.
That's a pain in the butt.
Yep.
Whether it's 1 or 8.
Yeah, I know.
It's the same scenario.
Oh, yeah. So we went the plan C. Bought a travel trailer.
That's one way to get around that plan. So that beats where your flooded house is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because it's not going to be done for another 11 months.
Brutal. Well, I mean, with the amount of waters, did you at least catch any reds or trout in the back screen door?
I could, yeah. I could have.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I heard a tornado came down.
That was interesting. That was a rush first thing yesterday morning.
Yeah, unfortunately, it destroyed a lot of houses and a lot of property out here in Crystal River.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that thing ripped through quick. While you guys are all getting signed in, go ahead and knock out the like and share portion of this. That way, in case we, happen to give something away, that that portion of it's already done. In case you happen to get your answers right for this evening.
It's always
not saying
nice.
we're giving things away at all, but
it's always nice to let everybody know that we're out here too.
So that's it.
The more, the merrier. Like, follow, share.
Pre-game every day, Mr. Allen. So true.
We could do that.
At least pretend to try it.
All 3 of our followers, maybe.
We'll pre-game with you.
Good deal.
Do any fishing this week?
Yeah, we did. In the middle of all the hustle bustle. Yeah, we did some fishing. Redfish bite's pretty good.
Heard there's been a lot of shorts out there on the redfish side.
Yeah. It seems to be always, but usually at the end of the summer, early fall, we get a lot of the small ones.
It's kind of a good thing though. It's always nice seeing future stock.
Mm-hmm. As long as there's a lot of them, not just one or two.
Yeah.
Yep. Next year they'll all be keeper size.
Cool. So we'll be right back. We're gonna go ahead and toss the intro and get this show on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond the woods, down the twists and the turns, through the marsh, lies the knowledge needed to fish the nature coast.
Fish Talk Live.
Welcome to
Fish Talk Live.
presented by
Phillips Auto Group.
the one and only. And tonight is a Friday night fish talk throwback.
Yeah, something a little different.
You know, just when we got used to not saying
Friday Night Fish Talk.
Friday night fish talk, I feel like it's been a lot of episodes since we've
Still wanting to say it every time.
slipped up with the old name. But hey, here we are. It's a Friday night.
That's it.
We've got some Marker 48,
Here to
some
talk fish.
Markerade.
Oh yeah,
It's pretty good.
very good.
Guys, if you haven't checked out our friends over at Marker 48 down in Brooksville, go check them out. It's an awesome brewery, awesome brew, awesome people.
Yeah, they make a flavor you'll like, I promise.
It is. So thank you everyone for the returning this evening and understanding this past Tuesday. We wanted to bring you all an excellent show, and we have an excellent show this evening.
How about it?
How about it? So we've got one of the coolest technologies that I think I've seen in the fishing industry yet. That's going to be on the show tonight.
GPS.
No, better.
Trolling motor.
No, something to not make my wife nag at me when we go fishing. Yeah, magic.
Interesting.
Magic.
It allows the day of fishing to be longer.
So we've got our friend Hannah from ReliefBand that's going to be joining us here in a couple minutes on the Nature Coast Financial Advisors Tackle Table Talk, explaining that technology. But first, we have a video that we're going to play from Brianna's first ever true offshore experience.
Since she's been able to actually handle it.
We've tried it a few times, did not start well. It started great.
Oh, yeah. And then you had to leave her on an island, and, things go haywire from there.
At least that was that nice, put on an island. No, but check out this video, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking to Hannah right out of Chicago about the technology that makes this happen. So stay tuned. When I spend my days off, I like to do two things. I like to go fishing and spend time with my family. Love to go offshore grouper fishing, but one of the toughest things for Brianna is she gets seasick when we go offshore. But we got hooked up with a ReliefBand, so we're going to be trying it out today and see how it works. Come on, Brie, reel! Yes, you. Oh my no. She's gonna do it on her own. Hey!
Ooh, that's a shark.
That's crazy.
Oh, wow! Nice. He's the number one. We're gonna have to reach out that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep going. Whoa! By the gills, Billy. For a picture.
We're out in your car so I can get it.
All righty, everybody. So welcome to the Nature Coast Financial Advisors Tackle Table Talk. So as you saw, that video, it was a lot of fun, a lot of fishing, and a lot of family and friends that we were finally able to get out in the boat and experience offshore stuff, which is super cool, thanks to ReliefBand. When we met the team at ReliefBand at ICAST, it was one of those things that, how does something like putting on your wrist, how does that work? And sure and behold, it truly does work. So I would like to say a sincere thank you to ReliefBand, because without that, we would not have been able to go have that family and friend fun. But let's go ahead and introduce Hannah from ReliefBand so we can talk about the technology and how it works. So Hannah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thanks so much for having me.
Hey, thank you for being on the show, Hannah. First of all, if you could introduce yourself, what you do for the company, how long you've been with the company, and where you're based out of.
Sure. So I'm Hannah Gates. I'm the Director of Marketing at ReliefBand. I'm actually a little bit new to the team. I joined in April, but like you, I was introduced to the product and I just saw such an amazing potential. The company had already done so much and made so many amazing partnerships, but I just knew that we had to get everybody a ReliefBand. So that's kind of my mission, is just spreading the word and making sure that everybody who suffers from nausea for any reason, including seasickness, knows about ReliefBand. And I am here based in Chicago.
Nice. So Hannah, when we approached y'all's booth at ICAST, it was almost perfect timing. Brianna, my wife, she has MS. She takes treatments for it. And after a treatment, she usually gets very nauseous. And she just took one of those, did her treatments right before we started walking around through the showcase. And this was actually the very first booth that we walked up to, because we saw the nauseous, the vomiting, banners that you had up. And so we started asking questions, and I was explaining to someone there about, Brianna's symptoms after her treatment. And so they told her to put it on, and she did. And Brianna's very quiet, very humble. And she said, wow, this is amazing, took it off, gave it back. And we started walking away, and she said, Gary, that was amazing. Just like that, I felt great. She said, as soon as I put it on, everything went away. As soon as I took it off, I started slowly getting it back. So I turned around, went back, explained that, thanked you all for what you just did for a couple minutes. And then we got to really put it to the test offshore, where she typically gets very seasick. She was great all day. I mean, the day started out beautiful, but it turned into a very rough day, and still smiles the whole time. But how does that work? Like, I don't understand. How does something like this go on somebody's wrist and create magic? What's the technology behind this?
Yeah, so that's the $1 million question. And first, I just want to say I'm so happy that we were able to offer Brianna some relief. I think I did have the pleasure of getting to speak with her for a couple minutes at the booth. And, we hear stories like hers all the time. People suffer from nausea from so many different reasons, whether it be things like seasickness, motion sickness, car sickness, but even things like morning sickness or anxiety or migraine-induced nausea. People with certain conditions or who are taking certain drugs, it causes nausea. So our product really works for a lot of those reasons. And like you said, the question is, how does it work? Because it really does work. It actually uses a technology that's going to sound really, really fancy, but it's called transdermal neuromodulation. And basically how it works is it looks like an upside down watch, right? You saw Brianna have it. She had it kind of the watch face on the underside of her wrist. And basically it stimulates a nerve on that underside of the wrist called the median nerve. And that nerve sends messages to the parts of your brain that are responsible for controlling nausea and vomiting. So it literally tells your brain to switch off those symptoms using a proprietary pulse-based technology that is patented and unique to our product. It actually was originally developed for use in hospitals. So it was used in hospitals all around the nation. And then we realized that people wanted to be able to buy it as, an over-the-counter product, a consumer-based product. And so in 2015, we were able to offer it directly to consumers through our website.
Too cool. So quick question for you. With all that magical technology, will this make Billy a better fisherman as well?
Well, we can only certainly hope, but I will say the thing about the model that you guys are using is that it is our waterproof model. So we have a variety of models in our assortment, but our ReliefBand Sport model is waterproof so that when you're on the water, you're on a boat, you can put your hand directly in the bucket full of water, you can submerge it, and it'll work perfectly fine.
Awesome. How long has this been on the market?
Well, like I said, the technology was actually originally developed by a Stanford physical therapist in 1990. And then it only became, then it went to be used in hospitals, and then it only became available as an over-the-counter consumer product in 2015. But we've been using the technology in hospitals for over 30 years now.
Good deal. Have you noticed, like from doing shows like ICAST, have you noticed a big trend in sales, since introducing this to the fishing market and outdoor market? Because that's a real common thing that we see, unfortunately, with the marina, that, with one person seasick, it does affect everyone's day that day. So, that could really turn around. So I feel like, this is perfect for it. So, I mean, have you guys seen a big trend in sales since really introducing this to the outdoor market?
Absolutely. I had the pleasure of attending ICAST, and that was really my first foray into the boating and fishing industry, and seeing the potential of that market. And you would be shocked. We met with captains who've been boat captains for 25 years, and they say, I still get seasick sometimes. Or the more common scenario, which is, I can't bring my wife on the boat, she gets seasick, or, I'm a charter boat captain, and sometimes guests pay all this money to charter this boat. And then if one person gets sick, like you said, it becomes kind of a waste, or, they have to turn around and go back, or it just ruins the day for that person. And so, with this product, a lot of boat captains are keeping it on their boat, for emergency. Or the good thing about our product is it can be used preventatively or after symptoms start. So you can, if you're getting on a boat and you're someone who's seasick, you can put it on before you get on the boat at a low setting, and you won't experience nausea that entire boat trip. Or if you're tough and you say, you know what, I'm good, I've been on the water 25 years, I don't need it, and then all of a sudden you're throwing up over the side of the boat, you can still strap it on, put it at a higher setting, and it'll bring that down and it'll stop. We heard so many stories at ICAST from captains who said they were shocked that they slapped this on somebody's wrist who was actively being sick over the side of the boat, and within 3 to 5 minutes, it completely stopped. We even had one captain who said that exact scenario happened. He put it on a guy, he stopped being sick, and then he had it on for hours and hours, and all of a sudden, he got sick again. And the captain said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, this always works. And then he looked, and the watch had run out of battery. So that was the reason that he got sick again. As soon as he charged it up or put a new one on him, he was fine again. So it really showed that as soon as he took it out or the battery stopped working, he was sick again. That's
incredible. It's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, again, just looking at this thing, it's just so hard to believe that it can do that, but we saw firsthand that it can. And I did see a bunch of different fancy attachments. I think it does go on back of an iWatch, or there's some sort of... Yeah. So Bree was telling me about that.
So our sport model that you have, as well as another model we have, which is called our Flex, can both pair with our Apple Watch attachment. So it allows you to have your Apple Watch on the upper side of your wrist and the ReliefBand on the bottom, because we know a lot of people are wearing smartwatches and they don't want to have to wear two bands, two different watches. So you can kind of do it all in one, which is really nice.
How long does it typically take to get a full charge on one of these?
It only takes about 2 to 3 hours to get a full charge. And then that device lasts up to 25 hours on one full charge. And we have some other devices that last even longer.
All right. And what kind of warranty comes with a ReliefBand? Is there a warranty associated with it?
Yeah, so all of our products have a 1-year warranty. We stand by them. We are always willing to make sure that during that time you have full coverage of any kind of, damage.
Awesome. I mean, just looking at the retail, which we'll go over next, but the retail prices on these, even if it only lasted you a year, it's still a lot cheaper than going through the different medicines. I'm assuming a lot safer for your body than taking, different medicines. So what is the retail on? Oops, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say that's one of the big things I didn't mention, which is it's totally drug and side effect free. So you will get, it's completely safe for everyone. It doesn't mix with any drugs that you're taking. Like I said, if you're a pregnant person, it's totally safe. It's safe for kids. Whereas things like Dramamine, which a lot of people take for seasickness, has a lot of side effects. You can't combine it with alcohol, makes you drowsy. And sometimes doesn't combine well with other medications. So that's something a lot of people really like about our products, which is that they are completely natural. We're actually, I always say, we tap into your body's own natural healing system. We're basically tapping into the nervous system and ramping it up and allowing it to function as best as it can to heal your own nausea. But in terms of price point, our products range from $100 to $279. But as you say, it's, we think a lot of people probably waste a lot of money in a year buying all different kinds of things and that don't really work and they don't really get effective relief. Whereas our products, like you said, you buy it, you have it for years, your whole family can use it. And, our assortment is built to meet all different needs of consumers' lifestyle. So sport is the perfect model if you are fishing, boating, doing water sports, because it has that waterproof feature. But if that's not important to you, we do have lower price point models that have the same exact technology, but don't have those waterproof features. And then we also have a premium model, which is just a little bit, quite a lot higher end materials. It's a little bit elevated, and it's a really sleek and chic design.
Too cool. How does one go about purchasing one of these? Where could they go find one?
Yeah, go visit us at ReliefBand.com. We're going into the holiday season, and as funny as it sounds, it actually does make a great gift. If you know someone who travels or, like I said, is on boats or on the water, it's a great gift, and we'll definitely have some big sales coming up too on ReliefBand.com.
I've already been thinking about it for my mother-in-law because I feel like this would really help put her in a better attitude. So, but last question for you. Last question for you. Hangovers. Will this cure a hangover?
What?
I have to admit, that is the first time I ever used my ReliefBand was for a hangover. So I can say from personal experience, it does work for hangovers. I think I had to keep it on for the whole 8-hour day after a night out with my own team, with my ReliefBand team. So we can say we work hard and we play hard. But yes, I can attest to it works for hangovers.
Billy, I say we should do a part 2 video.
Oh, 100%.
And get absolutely hammered.
Yeah, off to the old mill we go.
Off to the old mill we go. All right, awesome. Well, Hannah, thank you so much. Yeah, we'll definitely have to edit that video a little more, I'm sure. But Hannah, thank you so much. Thank you for being a part of the ReliefBand team because this is just such cool technology, and I'm really excited to see or hear the success stories from other fishermen like myself that can go enjoy the water with their spouses, or even those that get sick themselves that don't branch out and go past their limits because they don't want to get sick. So actually, I was speaking to someone today who launches out of our marina. He's a great grouper fisherman. He runs a smaller boat. I'm not going to say names. I don't want to embarrass anybody, but he really specializes on only doing the shallow water. Until today, Billy, I didn't know the reason is because he got seasick so bad.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that either.
So I'm really excited to give this to him, to let him try. And
absolutely, see if he'll take that little skiff 20 miles.
Yeah, because I'm sure knowing this guy, he'll buy 20 of them to have them in every different compartment just in case.
That's one thing, we hear it all the time. We realize that nausea and seasickness does hold people back, right? They don't go on the boat. They don't go on the roller coaster with their kids. It keeps them from doing the things they really want to do. And so I definitely think that with our product, it gives you the peace and the confidence to go and try new things or maybe go a little further offshore. So I'm really glad that we were able to help your team out. And we're all great partners for the future, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is going to be a product that we're going to want to carry inside the marina here too. I feel like this is going to be just one of those things that you don't really feel like it's a necessity until you see it.
Until you need
it. So
or until you need it.
Until you need it, exactly. Awesome. Well, Hannah, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And please let us know if you're ever in Florida so we can put it to the ultimate test and go to the old mill with you. So
Absolutely. I love it. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you very much. You have a great night.
On board with us.
Bye.
All right, guys. So that was Hannah from ReliefBand. Such a cool product. I cannot talk about how awesome it was to actually enjoy a day of offshore fishing with Brianna because of this watch here. So check it out, reliefband.com. But we're going to go to a commercial break, and when we come back, you guys want to do some catch of the week or what?
Hey, that sounds pretty good.
And then we're going to start giving up a whole bunch of Mario secrets.
All right. Hey Gary, what you doing?
Oh, just going through the book, looking at some dash panels.
As nice as that sounds, what if we went and did something a little more custom? Do you know anybody that might be able to make a switch panel like this?
Let's go talk to Brian.
I think Brian would be a good idea for that.
Oh, let's go.
It'd be sweet.
Oh, Brian. Hey, man.
What's up, brother?
Got a cardboard cutout. Can you make it into something for me?
Absolutely, let's do it.
All right.
What?
This is our dash panel complete. Just wanted to throw a huge shout out to Brian up there at Extreme Decals. Nailed it. This is exactly what I had envisioned when I drew literally a cardboard cutout for this to become a true dash piece and showpiece at the same time. Thank you very much, Brian. I'm super stoked to see this thing on the water.
Welcome to the Extreme Decals Catch of the Week. Let's see what everyone's got this week. It looks like a big table full of trout. I believe Ashley's got this. Oh, a couple of redfish too. Man, the trout are coming in. Look at that. We got a table full. It's about that time. The water temp is getting a little bit lower. Starting to get them. Like, Mr. Dunning with a nice redfish.
Is it Dunning or Dunning?
It's done something. he's winner chicken dinner. I'm telling you. And Dakota with a little bonnet head shark, looks like. There's a lot of those out there,
Believe it or not,
too.
Ken brought both the kids back today.
Yeah.
Alive.
Yeah.
Wow.
2/3 of a slam right there. Got a nice snook and redfish. Pretty nice.
His trout's hidden.
Yep. Is that Gunner? I'm not sure if that's Gunner or not, but that's a pretty nice redfish. Darren, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It's a pretty nice red.
They had a
Wow,
cooler
look at
full
that
of fish
snook.
that day.
Goodness. Starting to see him come around now. Dave with a nice red. Cute dog, too.
That's a snook, Mario.
Is it? Yeah. It is a snook. That's a redfish.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful redfish. I think I put Lindsay's contacts in today. So, again, I keep doing that. We need to change them. What? Ditch pickles.
Yeah. That kid's got tournament in his blood.
Yeah. Good tournament fish. Big fat red. Is that James?
Yep.
Yep. Could recognize that boat. Another big red.
Whew.
Wow. Look at the dark color on that.
Look at the belly.
Yeah, big thick one. Holy smokes. Oh, what do we have here?
I can't tell.
Yeah,
Billy?
looks like it.
No, sadly, it wasn't me.
No, it wasn't Billy. There we go. Got some reds and a snook. I believe that's Jessica's catch.
There she is.
Man, a lot of redfish, a lot of snook, a lot of trout. It's that time of year
I
again.
think that was from the Freedom, Fishing for Freedom
It may
tournament.
have been, yeah.
Oh,
First redfish right there.
that kid was pumped
I
when he
love
came through
putting
the
people on
marina.
their first redfish
Oh.
too, yeah.
He was so excited to go out.
There we go. Maddie with a nice red. I said they're everywhere. Fins up.
Had a good day out there today.
Oh yeah. Getting them all over the place. close in too. There you go. That was one of mine. Yeah. Nice fat redfish. There's another big grouper. We went diving for that one. That was his first gag on spear.
His first spear?
Yep.
Nice. Found a good fish to put him on.
Oh, yeah. He had to come before the season was done. So, look at that. Thick red.
Old Matt.
Yep. The fins up. I love it when you get the pictures with them fins up.
Yeah. He knows how to take a picture now.
Oh, yeah. More redfish. Shannon with a red.
It's Red October, huh?
Yeah. That is. That dude charters. Got a pair of them right there. More redfish at the dock on the kayak. Tom Hughes.
Thomas Hughes.
More bonnet heads.
Thomas got a cool thing going on with. We're actually using his services this week, but how he does those guided kayak charters.
Oh, nice.
And he literally brings these really fancy kayaks with you or with him.
Nice.
So it's yeah. But we'll talk more about that next week.
That one could have had a ReliefBand on that.
Oh, that's little. Was that Little Richard or was that Braden?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was Richard. Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been.
Richard got cold.
That's very Richard-like.
I believe that's it for the Extreme Decals Catch of the Week. Going to a commercial. We'll be right back.
Phillips Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Ocala has been serving North Central Florida since 1997. Family owned and operated, Phillips' knowledgeable sales staff will help you find the right vehicle for your needs. Join the Jeep Club, tow a boat in a new truck, or feel the power of Mopar performance. Come to Phillips Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Ocala and get your dream ride, or visit us online at phillipscjdr.com today.
Welcome to the Allende Matthews Casting Couch. I'm Captain Mario Castello, and today we've got the one and only Captain Gary Barzell on the couch.
Now, Mario, before we get started, can I introduce our guest tonight?
Sure.
So we got William and Michael all the way from South Carolina. There they are. Look at them. Tell you what, the first grouper, and they nailed it. I mean, it took a little bit of time to figure out that it was a really weird bite today. Not aggressive until they hooked on.
Right.
But these guys, you could tell that they're pros at fishing. They go all the way to New Orleans or Louisiana, do fishing, big time sportsmen. So super excited to have them in town for the next couple days.
We're happy to have you here, and and Edith's very happy to have you here too. You can see her jumping around playing with all
that poor
stuff. Yeah, it's tore up. Well, Gary, we've fished next to each other many times. I've known you for a long time, and earlier today we realized that we've never been in the same boat together.
Yeah. And I tell you what, I cannot believe I missed out that long, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that was so fun. We were out there all 45 minutes or so, and the knowledge that I learned from you in that 45 minutes, and I listen to you all the time here, but to actually experience and see, what you talk about on the show and just free to talk to everybody about, to see it in person was really mind-blowing. You are literally one of the best anglers that I've now seen in action. So I think we tied on redfish too. So
yeah, we caught a couple of them. Well, I appreciate that.
So that's the highlight of my life is that I tied Capt Marrio. But man, just the conversations, the enjoyment, that was a lot of fun. So thank you very much.
Yeah, we got to do it again. We definitely have to do that again.
Maybe a little bit longer next time.
But we did get some good video out of that, didn't we?
We got some really good video, and that was something that Mario, Billy, and I were talking about. After Tuesday's show, is we wanted to show you all. Give you a visual of what Mario always preaches on this couch. And we're really just touched on just a little bit in this video, but I think we can maybe explain some stuff afterwards. Do you want to do the video first or talk about the video, or how do you want to?
I think we should do the video first.
Let's do the video first, and when we get back, then we'll kind of analyze it and go from there.
Definitely. Sounds good.
Check. All right, Mario, explain what you're doing here.
I'm going to be rigging your standard everyday shrimp on a jig head. This is one of the rigs I use every day. But we're just taking a live shrimp. I'm going to pin it right in the tail, right in the top of the tail. You see how close that hook is to the back? I want to run it close to the back, and when it starts to bend, I'll take it out of his belly and shove it right onto that keeper on the hook. So it lays flat and it casts straight. And your simple shrimp on a jig head rig.
Perfect. Now let's see how you catch a fish with it. All right, so on the way out here, I pointed over at a spot and I said, Mario, have you ever fished that before? He said, mm-mm. But one thing he noticed about it, there is a bunch of little finger mullet all over the surface of it. So Mario, seeing what you see here, what do you think? We're about 50 yards off the...
We're about 50 or 60 yards off this little point. It's got a lot of bait working, maybe 5 to 10 yards off the shoreline. We're gonna approach it very slowly, try to get it's within casting distance, and I'm gonna drop a bait right in front of those, whatever bait that is. It does look like finger mullet to me, but I'm gonna drop this live shrimp right in front of it and see if we can't find something for him to eat.
Cool, see what happens.
When you're doing this, because there's a lot of them, I'll show you how we do a cut pin fish, how I do a cut pin fish. I'll pin it in the chin with the jig, just like you would normally rig a regular J hook. He's pretty lively. I do something a little bit different on these pin fish. I will cut them on the bias, just like this. Cut the tail off, get rid of him. And what that does is it stays alive and it oozes all that blood and guts in the water, so it works as a live bait and an artificial, and a cut bait at the same time. Down right on that hard bottom, watch out there. This one followed the bait up.
And just started reeling as fast as I could and right in front of the boat after it. And then I just let it drop and then he picked it up. But pretty fish. There it is.
Well, how about that?
45 minutes turned into...
You guys could actually catch a fish.
We
Yeah,
could.
Oh.
We could. Oh, man, that was cool. Bill, I don't think you had sound on it, but the cut pinfish part, he's talked about it before, like a specific way to cut them.
Right.
Where you pretty much cut half the body off, but it still stays alive. And he literally proved it to me today. Like,
kept it in the meat and kept the fish kicking.
Yep, you just you keep the guts and stuff together. When you cut it on the bias like that, you throw it out there. If you don't get a bite, you crank them in, and that thing was still flopping.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it works like a cut bait and a live bait at the same time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that was super cool. Let's talk about the first spot, or the only spot. But as we pulled up to it, we talked a little bit about the bait, but what were some of the other things that you kind of keyed in on?
Oh, there's a lot of nice points there. It happened to be that that first point that we pulled up to, we had some really, really calm water, and you could actually see the fish moving, darting back and forth. And instead of them being right on the shoreline, which most of the time they're going to be on the shoreline at the high water, they were actually sitting off. There was a few of them that were sitting off the shoreline that we could actually see. And that one that you were cranking in, and it chased it.
That was awesome.
It hit it right in front of the boat. That was pretty fun. That was pretty wild to see that.
That was neat, and it happened twice too. So it kind of goes to show that I want to say three of the fish today were all reaction hits. Typically, when we toss out pinfish, except a little bit of twitching and stuff, we really just let them sit or we just let them float. But 3 of the fish were all super fast retrieves. and 2 of them were pretty much accident. One, I saw this huge, just one of those bright red, like the true redfish, and I cast it up at a point, and I could see it just right in front of the boat. And I pointed to Mario. I said, Mario, right there. And I started reeling my bait in real fast. Well, when I was starting to get closer, I started slowing it down. Well, a redfish had chased it from the point.
That's awesome.
That it had been sitting out there for a couple minutes. So
that's awesome.
And I went to go pitch to the one that went back into the trees, and he didn't want anything I had. So.
And then another thing I want to point out too, and I'm just kind of going off of all talking points that you've talked about in the past, is how you slowly approach the spot.
Yes, we were very methodical. You don't want to come in blazing, definitely on those spots. Come in nice and slow. We started about 100 yards off the shoreline, and we worked our way to casting distance very, very slowly. Stuck the power poles down, started tossing the bait. We started out with the shrimp, went to the pinfish. We caught a couple of them. Then we started working that shoreline, again, very, very, very slowly. And that's a big key when you're working shorelines, is you have to be very quiet and in the clean water, in the clear water.
Yep. I mean, we talk about it all the time, not staying in one spot too long, but we're not saying don't work it hard.
Right.
Work it hard and slow, and if nothing's happening, then you move to the next area. But just kind of work it properly. You never know if those fish are going to be off the bank, up against the bank, so why not start off of it?
Right.
You might have a few more casts than you would. You might have a couple more minutes into your trip.
But you'll have a couple more fish.
You'll have a couple more fish, or you'll at least know that the fish are not there,
right,
and they're going to be on the bank. But if you go straight to the bank, start fishing the bank, you have no idea if you spooked the fish already.
Right.
That's it. That's where I find the big majority of my fish on the airboat. I'm playing less than 100 feet off the bank doing my drifts, and next thing you know, there's redfish pushing. So you really never know what you're going to find when you play just off the bank.
It's a great way to establish a pattern. You don't want to go directly to your high percentage spots, because sometimes they're going to be sitting off, like you were saying, they'll be sitting off the shorelines. It's a little bit lower percentage area, but today that was the pattern.
Yeah.
And it worked out really well for us, since we were crushed for time. We literally filmed that right before starting the show here. Bree put it together very quickly. I mean,
slack high tide, like most non-opportune time to fish for redfish.
High as that tide was, I'm surprised y'all were finding them off the bank like that too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a lot of times they're going to be in that shade.
We were in a good hard bottom
find.
area that was off the bank, and sure enough, they were there.
Good find.
Yep.
Now, one thing we did kind of see too, Mario, is that sun had already started falling, so it was coming in at an angle instead of right up top. The downward sun side, so that the back side of the island was the most productive side.
Yes, the shadowy side, yeah.
The shadowy side. So the shadows are a big thing. Even if those fish are not in the shadow for whatever reason, they seem like they were piled up, because we slowly worked around the other side, but we stopped seeing mullet, we stopped seeing everything.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of these redfish and snook, they see that shadow line almost like a game trail. It's just another line for them to swim up and down. So that's a high percentage point for me. I'll throw right on the shadows or just inside the shadows, because you can always work it back closer to you. But I try to focus on a lot of those shadow lines.
We started with shrimp. We both thought that shrimp was going to be the hotter bite. We kind of learned that pinfish was, definitely more productive. What kind of signaled to you, that it was time to start using the pinfish?
When we caught the third one on pinfish.
But
yeah, it's time to switch to pinfish.
My point about that is you never know, if you sit there and you are consistently using live shrimp and you are consistently not getting a bite.
Time to switch it up.
To switch it up.
Yeah, it doesn't take more than about 10 or 15 minutes. If you're not getting anything on that bait, switch it up. Switch the rigs a little bit if you want to try to switch rigs. It's much easier to switch the bait because you can use the same rig. Shrimp on a jig head, pinfish on a jig head, cut mullet on a jig head. Just switch the bait up. If that's not working, then switch the location up. Like I said, they were sitting a little bit further off the shoreline instead of casting up on the shore. But you just got to constantly change it up until you can establish a pattern.
Definitely. Is there anything else that you would have, if we had more time, that one area, we thought we saw snook beating up on those little finger mullet?
I think I probably would have wanted to go back there, yeah. But we didn't have a whole lot of time.
Once we troll motored down the bank, Billy, we could hear the basket mouth come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right about
Big
where we
old
started.
suction
Yeah, right,
come
yeah.
off.
Right where we
started.
pulled in at. Right where we started. It's like,
That's the way it goes, too.
Yeah. The other thing I wouldn't have mind trying is floating a pinfish or even a shrimp, is getting something that's seeing how those redfish were off of reaction and movement. Floating a pinfish with a short leader right down that bank. That was probably one other thing that I wish I would have done.
Yep, and the wind and the current were doing the same thing today, so that would have been ideal to drift one through.
Yeah.
So out of curiosity, being that you guys were out there playing, I know it wasn't something that you were specifically looking for, but it's always one of my questions to you guys is what kind of water temperatures are we seeing at the moment?
It was not hot and not cold. It was probably 80-ish.
This morning, about 10 o'clock, it was 77. I don't know, I pulled it up on the screen.
Yeah.
I thought one of you guys asked me the water temperature today, but for whatever reason, I looked at it. I want to say it was like 9, 10 o'clock. It was 77. That was near shore. So.
Okay.
Right. So, yeah, it was probably 80 by the time we started fishing out there today.
Very nice.
Did you notice, by the way, Billy, I meant to ask you this earlier, but I'm glad I'm asking you now, is on the east side of the outer keys, the reef, how murky it was.
Very much so.
Did you notice
it's
that?
all dusted completely.
Yeah.
And I notice it more on the falling side of the tides. And I honestly, as much as I'm playing out there and seeing that, because it was always something out of my curiosity too, it seems like it's the mullet themselves are schooling up and dusting massive patches out. And because I'll notice back to back on tours, I'll have a spot where I do my drift. It's absolutely gorgeous. Go back an hour and a half later, I can't see anything. But there's mullet all around the edges of that dusted area.
Yep.
And I don't know if they're doing that for some sort of a protection factor, from dolphin or part of their spawning aspect of it. I don't know, but it seems like they are dusting the smoke out of it.
Yep, they're rubbing the bottom. How they turn, just like you see them jump. Just another way that the mullet are active. I look for mullet that rub like that because it kicks up all the stuff that's on the bottom.
Yeah, and it definitely seems to happen on the east side before anything, and like just on that falling aspect, and it dusts the whole reef up, which is pretty wild.
Because there's a lot of mullet out there.
There's a lot of mullet
yeah,
out there.
I look for the mullet muds. That's a good starting point if you don't know where to start.
Yeah, definitely. Besides that, I know this can be a hard question to answer because I got to take one of the equations out. But besides going off of past knowledge and trends, how would you locate the trout? If you were going in blind, we know they're starting to move in. Where do you even start? What are some of the things that Capt Marrio looks for?
Well, not this time of year, but once it starts getting a little bit cooler, well, for one, I'm looking for water temperature. I like that 75. When it gets down to 75 and lower and it stays there, I look for the kelp grass. And big patches of kelp grass going to be in your yellow bottom areas. They seem to congregate around that.
Noticing that stuff growing more and more.
It's starting up right now, but look for the hard bottom, yellow bottom areas that have kelp grass growing out of them, and work it with a soft plastic. If it's shallow, I would just nose hook one and work it like a topwater bait. If it's a little bit deeper, I'll put it on a jig head and do it that way.
If I'm not mistaken, they call that grass sargassum grass.
Sargassum grass,
okay,
yeah.
Yep.
Or pepper seed grass. Some people know it as pepper seed
okay.
grass, yeah.
I've not heard that one.
It all depends on how old you are. I'm aging myself. Yeah.
All right. Happens.
Well, cool. Well, Mario, again, that was an absolute pleasure today. Let's do it again real soon. Grouper season's just about done.
Yep.
I know you're busy, throughout the year, but let's you, Billy, and I next time. The three of us get out there for a full day, and I'd like to go explore.
Yeah.
I'd like to go try to find an area that the three of us here hasn't really spent a lot of time in, and see if we can figure it out.
New Waters? Maybe?
New Waters.
New Waters hometown.
Shameless plug.
Hometown New Waters.
Awesome. Well, Billy's got a shirt over there and a hat we're going to be giving away this evening.
It's not the one he's wearing.
You wouldn't want it anyways.
So let's check. Oh, can we please give that away, please?
Yeah.
Finally.
Free to good
Yeah, at
home.
least she's sleeping. So Billy, why don't you hold that bad boy up?
These are some sponsor shots here. We got a Phillips Auto Group hat and an Allende Matthews with his pretty face. Well,
No, I think that's
not him. That's Jake from State Farm.
Who is it, Jake?
That's Jake.
That's Jake from State Farm, not Allende.
Close enough.
Yep. Really comfortable shirt, size large, and it is that dry fit feel to it. It's a nice shirt.
Perfect.
Yeah. So make sure you guys like, share, and get yourself in the winnings to win it.
Sweet. So let's go to a commercial. When we come back, we'll ask the question for this evening, and then do the Hydra Deck and Extreme Decals. Real of Fortune.
I don't know Jake from State Farm.
But just imagine my homes and my auto.
Best bundle in the league, baby.
Man, why can't Patrick change his name? It could be Kelsey, and Kelsey, how much you can save by bundling home and auto. Yeah? Can you make the letters smaller?
Oh, auto, let's go. Come on, model, let's get it. Put your jersey on.
Bundling. Just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Oh, I almost there we go. My goodness.
Oh, I bumped it with the TV. Oh boy. Let's see here.
Does this
there we go.
Does this not remind you all of Friday Night Fish Talk?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
How do we do this again?
All right. So I've got a good question, Billy.
All right. I may not know the answer.
All right. You ready for this?
What you got?
The first 6 people to answer this correctly is going to get added to the Hydra Deck Extreme Decals Reel of Fortune for the chance to win the T-shirt and the hat. Oh, Brianna. Oh,
on the struggle.
man.
You're fired.
Yeah.
I gotta
No,
find a
because then we have
replacement
to
for
do it.
Yeah.
You're not fired.
So, we talked a lot about the knowledge that Capt Marrio brings here and what he does. How beneficial he has been to Ozilla Keys Marina and Fish Talk Live. But we always introduce him as Captain Marrio Castello. What is the name of Captain Marrio Castello's charter business? The first 6 people to answer that correctly is going to get added onto the Extreme Decals, or the Hydra Deck at Extreme Decals Reel of Fortune for the chance to win a T-shirt and a hat. So first 6 people to answer what is the name of Captain Mario's charter business correctly is going to have a chance to win.
Bust out your Google.
I'm sure it's going to go pretty quick.
We need the
And-
Jeopardy theme.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yes, coming. All right, Billy, just talk about nonsense.
Yeah. So here we are to talk about nonsense.
How about an airboat report?
The old airboat. About who?
Ho? Ho. I don't know what that means.
Fishing for Dough tournament coming up here in a couple of weeks. Make sure you all are getting signed up for it. There is a limited spot entry on this. Last year we had to cap it, and this year we're going to have to cap it again. All proceeds from this will end up going back into Christmas presents for the children, and there is an epic day of fishing to be had out here. Always look forward to the festivities, the beer gardens, and just the good atmosphere of it. That's going to be coming up, if I'm not mistaken, that's what, the first weekend of December?
December 2nd.
Yes. Well, I guess first week of December. Week, yeah, same thing. Yeah. Oh, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Yeah, I just found out there's a little pink button on my register that says 50 shrimp. So when I register that and somebody comes in to purchase 50 shrimp, all proceeds are going into the breast cancer awareness, which is a pretty cool concept. So if you guys are looking to go do some fishing, get at least 50 shrimp. If you order 150, I'll hit it 3 times. Donate that money back. And I think we are almost to the... Yeah, we're so close.
That was the quickest.
That's what she said.
We got our 6th guest all signed in here. I'm glad you all noticed who Capt Marrio is.
So one time we asked that question about my charter business.
Nobody knew.
No.
2. 2 did. Yeah, worst part was he's wearing the shirt that said River Adventure Tours.
Yeah.
Nobody got it.
Yeah.
They just know him as Captain Gary.
All right. So let's go over here to the Hydro Deck at Extreme Decals.
Onward.
Billy, you want to take over here? I'll turn the screen. Why don't you bring one of our guests up to spin the wheel?
Oh. Which one of you two want to spin the wheel reel? The wheel reel or the real wheel?
Come on, William. Hop up there.
It spins so nice.
So Billy, explain to William how this works.
So what we're going to do, as he answered the question, or asked the question, everybody else answered it. We have 6 slots here, 6 different names, 6 different species. Spin it to win it, and whoever lands on, just take home a nice shirt and a hat. I think so. That was quick.
I said, before you announce it, I say, William, I saw how you reeled those grouper in. You got more than that.
I got more.
Yeah, spin the hell out of it. Let's go.
All right, we'll spin it good. All right.
There we go. That's better.
What's your guess?
Shrimp.
I'm going to take whatever Chris Dunning had. 'Cause he wins everything.
Oh, we got the Pompano. Who's that? Dave?
Wilkerson.
Wilkerson.
Is that the last one?
Yeah.
Dave Wilkerson.
Yeah, Dave Wilkerson. The way he wrote it says Dave Will or Son.
I know. I ran out of writing room. Aubrey's sick tonight, so we don't.
We're making the best of the abilities here. So much appreciated, y'all, and congratulations, Mr. Dave. There.
Yep. So Dave, stop on in. If you don't have the access to come on in, then give us a call or shoot us a message with your address, and we'll get it shipped over to you. So. Guys, thank you very much for watching this Friday night Fish Talk edition of Fish Talk Live. We hope you guys enjoyed the information that was brought to you by Capt Marrio and then Hannah from ReliefBand. That stuff was super cool.
I'm going to have to check that out. That's very interesting. I like that.
It'd be a nice thing just to keep on the boat for the people.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I have a lot of people who get sick, so that would be an absolute game changer. Yeah.
Game changer. I love it. Yeah. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to all of y'all that make this possible. Next Tuesday, we have our friends from Bubba, the engineer department, the scientist behind their product, coming into Ozello to do an Ozello outing. And we're going to have all of them here as a live audience, but they were bringing all kinds of awesome stuff. I mean, we got 2 pallets so far of prototypes, new stuff. You know, that hasn't been launched yet. They want to try out. That's why I like Bubba so much, is they do a lot of field testing. So if it can make it in the environments it's meant for, then they're going to launch it, and if not, they're going to tweak it and make it better. So.
Perfect.
Alrighty. What was that, Brianna? I'm sorry. Oh, she said 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Now this month, by the way, you're going to be doing Fish Talk. What, Bri? Oh.
No.
I don't know what she's talking about.
That's what she said? Is that what I was supposed to say? 15 seconds. Okay.
So when is the Fish Talk seminar?
It's the 24th this month because the 31st is Halloween, of course, and we have a lot of kids that like to do the trick-or-treating, so we're going to have it the week before.
Awesome. We're going to do a live Fish Talk live at Fish Talk seminars.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. So let's. So if you're not able to make it in person, which I definitely recommend going, all the awesome stuff you can win, the first-hand knowledge you can get right there, and the questions you can ask. But if you can't make it, you can watch it on Fish Talk Live right here, but on Tuesday instead of Friday.
Yep. And it's Captain Gene Miller.
Cool. Good deal.
Our very own Gene Miller.
I'll be bringing my cigars. All right, guys. We'll see you next Tuesday.